Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TKO Fight Sports, a fight program where we will again discuss domestic martial arts, K1, kickboxing, Muay Thai, any sport combat related in Australia. I'm joined today again by former UFC fighter, former Ultimate Fighter, panelist extraordinaire, Vic Grujic. Welcome back.
Thank you, great to be back.
We unfortunately do not have the AK-47 Chris Bradford with us today. He's family purposes away from tonight, also still basking in the glory of his world title win at Power Play 40 a few weeks ago. Super sub, though, there aren't any bigger super subs than the GOAT himself of MC in mixed martial arts and Muay Thai in this country, John DiMacaulay. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. You've gone from the AK-47 to the pea shooter with me, mate.
Look, we're not like for like here, but close enough. We have a stacked show today. We've got Power Play to review, we've got Ultimate to review, we've got Eruption to review, we've got Hardcore Promotions coming up, we've got Hex 18, we've got a few Australians fighting internationally in the very near future, and we'll get through all that over the next short period. But we will start, John DiMacaulay and Vic Grujic, with Eruption. You were in sunny Queensland not too long ago.
Yeah,
How was that experience for you,
It
John?
was a very impressive night, a packed house, and yeah, it was a cracking card.
I'm going to start at the top. Charlie Bubb, leg kicks underrated, I think, in most sports these days still. Completely chopped Eddie Farrell down. Give me your reflections on that fight.
Charlie Bubb just continues to improve every fight. His last fight he beat Jake Lunn quite easily, I believe, over 5 rounds. Eddie Farrell, a very experienced fighter in the Muay Thai scene, pulled him apart, picked him apart, finished him off with leg kicks by round number 4, and yeah, this kid's on the rise in a big way, and now he's doing some K1 fighting coming up very shortly as well. But in the Muay Thai world, he's rising up the ranks, and I hear rumours that next year there'll be him taking on Toby Smith again.
Wow.
You've got him fighting against Vedat H on Kings of Combat in April. Yeah, the guy's doing a lot of good work, and he's doing it really well.
Active. Very active at the moment as well.
Yeah, extremely active. Yeah, his management team, Paulie, and his trainer, Danny Maskachev, are doing a lot with him at the moment.
I got the body shots in that fight as well. I'm not sure if you saw it, Vic, too, but again, underrated strike in all former combat sports is that body shot, and he had a couple of rips into the rib cage. How, I guess, bigger impact was that in taking some of the gas out of Eddie's tank? Because it looked like early on, just took him completely out of his normal game plan.
I just think that he's definitely a thinking fighter. Charlie Bubb looks at his opponent and sees what's going to work, and he just picks the right shots and doesn't waste a lot of shots, which I think, sure Vic would agree is probably a good way of fighting.
Well, those are pretty much the types of fighters that are going to impress anybody, really, from a technical standpoint. Somebody that can work from the outside, pick an opponent apart, and really impress. So.
No, definitely a very impressive young man with a very bright future.
Absolutely.
Future's bright. He lives 3 hours out of Orange in New South Wales. So he told me it takes him 4 hours to get to the airport in Sydney to actually fly somewhere, which is crazy.
Commitment. It's good to see a young guy doing well. Matt Webb. We don't like to see anyone get injured in this sport. There was a cut and a half in that fight. I heard 13 odd stitches. It's clean elbow. Did you see that one?
I've got actually a photo on my phone. I don't know if you guys have got it on file, but I'll send it to the boys. It was one of the better cuts I've seen. It's the cut that you see that when it actually happens, the referee sort of went over and went,
nah.
Yeah, it's done.
Has anybody ever told you you're bloodthirsty?
I love seeing blood. We all go to sport to see blood. It's all fun.
No, we don't.
You don't?
We don't.
Oh, it's a bit,
See technique.
Yes, the technique creates that though. But I must say, that cut was one of those cuts where it hit so deep, the blood just didn't come. There wasn't much because it just hit that spot where I think the body says there's no blood. But that poor guy had quite a big.
It's gonna leave a scar. Put it that way.
But it was good by. It was a very good win. I think Matt Webb was going away with the win in my opinion. But I think before that happened, actually, Matt Webb got hit by a big punch. Actually rocked him. Matt Webb's thrown that elbow.
And got his flush.
Yeah, and actually Matt Webb was on shaky ground up to that, just a second before that. So he actually said that. He goes, "I'm lucky I threw that because I threw it and I got hit and got the cut and got the win."
Vic, Alma and Brooke, unanimous decision victory for Alma. We spoke earlier today, technically, it was one of the cleanest fights I've seen in a long time. The in and out, the slipping, the head movement. Give me your reflections on that one.
Well, just quickly reviewing that fight, Alma really impressed me. One thing I like to see, obviously from a striking standpoint, good footwork, good head movement. She's almost got like a boxing stance, So just the footwork, the combinations, in and out, fantastic technique to see, from Alma. So it was a great display of technical ability. Yeah.
Johnny, anything to add?
I think one thing with, actually, you had both Farrells fighting. You had Brooke Farrell and Eddie Farrell. They call themselves a Fighting Farrell. They're both very well put together fighters and had a heap of fights. One thing I think stood out in this fight, Alma definitely on the outside, she had Brooke covered.
Oh, yeah.
In that fourth round though, Brooke took the advantage and actually started to clinch, started to knee, started to elbow. And when it got into the clinch, it really showed that if there's one chink in Alma's armour, it's when someone's in tight, in the clinch. Brooke had her all day long in that fourth round. And in that fifth round, credit to Alma and her trainer, Scott Moss, changed it up, got back on the outside and finished off impressively.
And that's where you could see that ability to just slip in and out like
I think when Alma actually got maybe a bit gassed in that fourth round, she let Brooke come in and she copped a lot of leather in that round.
Fight of the night for you?
I think it was the best female fight I've ever seen. I'd say it's, and Mark Pease and Paul, who were there on the night, both said on the actual broadcast that they said it was the best female fight they've ever witnessed live, and a lot of people have said that since.
And that was one of the notes I made with Josh just a few minutes ago, was basically that, just how impressive that fight was. And Alma, real big standout for myself.
Well, she's now beaten Yolanda Schmidt, who's arguably one of the best female fighters in Australia. She won in Thailand. She just beat Brooke Farrell. That girl's on some crazy roll.
Good fight, excellent fight actually. My personal favourite of the night was Jonathan, and we're going to do like a whole bloopers clip of me messing names up on this show, but Jonathan Ayulu, sorry if it's not that, my apologies. Damon Goodwin, excellent fight for the longevity. Pipe punches are, again, often underrated. You see the guys coming in with the big haymakers, they're impressive, the crowd goes wild. Straight punches, and if you want to look at a fight ending via straight punches, have a look what Jonathan did. He threw a right hand, flush on Damon's chin, didn't rush in, was composed, went left, right again, flattened him on the canvas. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, Damon Goodwin comes from a very strong gym up in Cairns. He's one of those crazy up north kind of guys. Got the tats, got the hair, got the look.
Looks like a fighter.
He looks like he's thinking, you're not going to fight, there's not much else you're going to do. Like, you are a fighter, or perhaps ride a motorbike, I'm not sure. But that dude, man, tough guy. But Jonathan Ayulu, man, that kid is tough. He is as tough as guts.
Yeah.
And it was a great, and you said it was just straight punches. And yeah, those guys went hammer and tong for the duration of the fight.
Final one I want to discuss, personally, because I really like watching him fight, Joseph Coverdale and Albert, who I know you're a big fan of. Interesting fight. Joseph didn't really seem on his game in that one. I'm not sure if that's because Albert was able to manipulate the game plan early on, or Joseph's had a bad day in the office, but give me your reflections on how that one rolled out. Because realistically, with all due respect to Albert, Joseph, from my opinion, was probably expected to win that fight, but didn't get the result.
I think when you've got a kid who's 17 years old and has had 11 fights for 11 wins and going for his 12th, you might underestimate that kind of kid that size, but the kid's got some, for his size, he's a very short.
He's a machine.
He's quite vertically challenged, but what he lacks
vertically challenged was that.
What he lacks in height, this kid makes up in crazy heart, and the kid's big, man. I think right now he's probably one of the hottest prospects in Oz. Like, they call him Baby Yod, which is Baby Yodson Clay. He came out firing in that fight against Joe Coverdale. Full credit to Joseph Coverdale. That kid's strong. Like, he took some big shots, and he kept walking forward.
The head kick early.
It was
but the head kick early, did that sort of impact on the way the fight rolled after that?
I think he copped about 5 or 6 teeps straight to the head, and he got a couple of shins across the chin as well. But Joe Coverdale, I've never seen a trainer, Laos, who is his trainer, shout out to Laos.
I love Laos.
He's an absolute legend. He was so proud of his boy. He was like, I've never been, I know you lost, you didn't win the fight, but you won me and you won the crowd. And Joe had all the Queenslanders coming up, and Queenslanders love a tough nut, and he is one tough SOB. But didn't get the win on points. It was a clear win to Albert Tua. But yeah, I hear Albert turns 18 in May, and he's fighting on Rebellion's card in July. So
wow.
Young man.
Yeah.
Active again.
Yeah.
Eruption Muay Thai will be back on the 31st of August. Always put on a cracking card, so we look forward to seeing what they produce next, and tickets go on sale. Make sure you snap one of those up. Thank you again for watching TKO Fight Sports. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever else the kids use these days. Subscribe to our YouTube page, plenty of content. I'm even to believe that Vic Grujic himself might have some training content going up shortly.
Or maybe a little bit of something. Oh, yeah, we'll kind of leave it under wraps for now until we get a little bit of something out there. But yeah, there may be a little segment coming up in the future. So keep an eye out for that.
To checking out Vic Grujic in action.